I was never one to believe the stereotype that siblings are supposed to hate each other. It's probably because one of my best relationships is with one of my siblings. This particular relationship is with my sister, Christiana. Christiana is my older sister by 2 years, and in the time that we've had to grow together, we've also grown into the best of friends. The reasons that we get along so well are her general personality, her ability to share her passions with me, and her sense of empathy. Christiana's characteristics have positively influenced who I am today, and she continues to be the most important person in my life. For me, Christiana's personality is the most comfortable and carefree. You don't have to hang around her for very long for a few things to jump out at you. Firstly, you'll see just how wildly spontaneous she is. It doesn't matter what she's doing, as long as she wasn't thinking about doing it just a few minutes before. I can never get away with doing nothing in my room for hours on end as long as she's home. Just on Memorial Day, she dragged me up to Mount Pleasant to see one of her friends for just 2 minutes before turning around and coming back home. It wasn't a waste because we went and we did something. Another important part of Christiana's personality is just how extra she is. Whatever emotions she's feeling at any given moment, you'll be able to tell right away. If someone is annoying her, and half the time it's me, she will go out of her way to tell them just how ridiculous they look or sound. On the other hand, if someone is being kind or helpful towards her, she'll be sure to show her appreciation. If she manages to find something funny, it doesn't just get a smile and a chuckle from her. It makes her fall to the floor, tears in her eyes, unable to breathe. Probably the most important thing you can see in Christiana is her uniqueness. You could describe her just like an author describes their main character. The characteristics and appearance are made known immediately. I know everyone has been told that it's okay to be different advice over and over again, but Christiana has never needed that. She's been her own person since day one, which inspires me to be my own person. Part of what makes Christiana so special are her strong and unique passions. Everyone has one or two things that they dedicate their time into, and most people would call them hobbies. Christiana doesn't have hobbies, she has passions. Her most prominent passion would probably be filmmaking. Christiana began her YouTube passion a couple years ago, and in that time it's gone from a normal interest into a potential career. She invested her time and money into new equipment, new ideas, and she started a new filming and editing schedule. Because of this, she received her first serious investment. This is giving her new opportunities that she wouldn't have dreamed of years ago, like traveling solo to LA for VidCon this summer. In the past year, Christiana has also been branching out into the world of fashion. Although she is still an avid thrift shopper, her new investment is allowing her to reach for higher fashion and start a new fashion series on her YouTube channel. This has gotten the attention of some shoe and jewelry companies, and she is now receiving sponsorships and deals from these companies. Everything seems to be falling in the right place for her right now, and she's only moving forward in the right direction, wherever that is. Although I don't have any sponsors or corporate deals, I'm also interested in creative design. I may not share her passion for filmmaking, but I admire the growth that she's experienced over the past few years, and I'm excited to see where she'll end up. Christiana also shares her excitement for me and my passions, like swimming and leadership. Whenever I have an idea for student council, I'll bring it to her and I'll always argue the downsides and why it wouldn't work. Each argument will end with her saying, just try it and see what happens, why wouldn't you do that? And I have no choice but to agree with her. For us, being able to share our passions and what makes us happy is one of the most significant parts of our relationship. Finally, the thing I cherish most about Christiana is her sense of empathy. We all know now what empathy means, but for most people, choosing to be empathetic is a conscious choice. That's not the case for Christiana. She's the only person that I know that is naturally empathetic. Maybe it's something that's grown with her as she's matured, but all I know is that she goes through what I go through, what I feel she feels. She's the first person that I go to when I have a problem. I'm not looking for a solution when I talk to her, she'll just listen to me. Christiana has had to listen to a lot of my problems that she didn't understand, like my own mental health issues. I first started to experience depression in the 7th grade. I wouldn't talk about it at all, and I really only talked to my mom and eventually a therapist because I didn't know what I was going through and I was really embarrassed about it. It took some time, but I was eventually able to open up to Christiana, and to my relief, she was accepting of me. She didn't know what exactly I was feeling or how to help, but she really did help just by accepting my imperfections. A few years later, Christiana began to experience mental health issues of her own. She wasn't totally comfortable with it, but she knew that I was in the same boat as her. Christiana and I have always made time to listen to each other when we sense that the other is feeling down. We don't always know what to do with each other's problems. We accept each other as we are, and we accept the fact that, well, some days are just worse than others. For as long as we uphold the sense of empathy between us, Christiana will be the most understanding person in my life. On a lighter note, Christiana is also able to mirror my lighter and happier feelings. Most noticeable is our shared sense of humor. Whatever I'll laugh at, she'll laugh at just as hard. It's so easy to get wrapped up in YouTube for hours with her, watching the most nonsensical and random videos that we can find. We also share catchphrases like, yeah, she bad, screwed, little guy, and calling anyone and everyone buddy. Overall, Christiana is the only person to truly be able to reflect my personality, and she's so special to me because of that. The relationship that I have with Christiana is my most important, because who she is influences me to be the best version of myself. Christiana's qualities are unique and different from my own, and that makes our relationship stronger. Her passions are clear and defined, which I appreciate. We have a mutual admiration for each other. Finally, her sense of empathy is the greatest that I've ever experienced from someone, and it's really helped us through both of our struggles. Christiana and I break any stereotypes about sibling hatred by being ourselves and loving each other for it.